Hello and welcome back to Ella Rhodes YouTube videos. Today I thought I could do a little video on discussing spurs, bits, whips, and crops. So personally, I think that we'll start with bits. So I think that let me just type in. No, not bits. No, bits. So, yeah, personally, I think that there are a huge amount of bits that are absolutely abusive. Like, look at these two horses. The poor things have their mouths wide opened. It's like, when somebody tells me or I'm watching a video and it's talking about how not really any bits are abusive, they're just an aid, I always think, what about the poor horses with their mouths wide opened and everything? Like, let's go to a cool bit. Look at these things. Who even invented them? There are about 19 million straps on the horses' mouths. Plus, they're being jerked back. Like when I'm watching a YouTube video and it says that it doesn't hurt the horse's mouth to have a bit, I just think, what if you had a metal piece in your mouth and was constantly being yanked back, possibly having more than one? Like, sure, I'm one to talk because I use bits, but not one that would be like this. Like, I don't even know who would use that. So, we're gonna lose it. We're gonna leave that on. I think that a lot of bits are absolutely cruel. Like, there are these things called hackmores, and the automatic or whatever they're called ones. The automatic ones are so cruel to horses. It crushes them, like mechanic hackmores. When they pull back, it crushes their nose, making them stop. Like, who even does that? Snaffle bit? This is absolutely cruel. Like, let's take a bigger look at that. Can you see this? There's one of those, flare, or whatever they're called things, wrapped around the horse's mouth so that they don't open it, and the poor rider is gonna get some points taken off. Oh no, that would suck. Oh, it doesn't matter if the horse likes it or not. And then the bit's it's sort of okay, but still, look at this. Another flare. Another flare. Sorry if I'm calling them flares and they're not called flares. I think that there's a flare on that horse. This poor horse is probably getting a lot of pain, and that's the only reason why he's listening and being called a famous horse. Then there's this guy who also has a flare. Like, the poor horses, when I go ride my horse Copper, I barely ever use a bit. And if I do use a bit, it definitely does not look like this on him. Maybe if we have time at the end of the video, I'll show you what the color of my horse Copper. It's a chestnut, but, like, it'd be cool to just show you some pictures if you don't know. Let's get all of these off so that, let me just take that off now. Western. A lot of Western bits are very cruel. These ones I'm not a fan of. Yeah. This one I'm definitely not a fan of. Let me see if maybe this has some writing about it. Yeah, very cruel. English writing, honestly, not to beat up on it, but it has a lot of cruel bits. And then there's throat lash, headpiece. Okay, well, that's a little toy. Flare on the horse. Look at this! I mean, this horse is clearly being handled roughly. Huh, yeah, roughly. Yeah, his mouth is wide open, his ears are back, his eyes are sharp. Huh, maybe roughly will be a good word for this. His head will fly up rather than come down into the hands of the rider. The tongue is trapped as the bit rides up in the mouth. His lips are pulled back and the outside of the bars are beginning to feel the pressure. See how the bit traps the tongue? Yeah, look at that. If you're somebody, you know what, I'm not going to be one of those videos where I don't like it, I don't mean to be really mean and beating up on this stuff, but seriously, how would you feel if that was on you? I just think it's horrible. Let's see if we can find one other very cruel bit. Dressage, also, no offense meant, but it has a lot of cruel bits. Another flare, these are really popular, a chain under their mouth, an extra bit, 2 bits in their mouth. This thingamajig which pulls their mouth down. This is somebody who I'm very fond of, Finn Joseph riding dressage. He does dressage with no bit, no spurs, and no whip. Or crop, whatever you want to call it. But look, and his horse reacts fine. Like, I'm going to do a video after this, and it's just going to show his video of him riding just without the bit. It starts out with the bit, and then without the bit. And it's like, there's basically no difference. But when I ride, it is a little hard to control the horse, but I don't care, as long as I'm not pulling on his mouth. Okay, crops. So, crops, I don't think I'll ever use them. I think that they're definitely aids, and they can definitely be used harshly, but as long as they're in the hands of an experienced rider. Whoa, what is that? Huh. These horses aren't having a nice day. Yeesh, why did they put this on the line? Anywho, yeah, so I'm not really fond of crops either, but yeah, whips hurt horses. Here's somebody who actually knows stuff. So actually no. Whips hurt horses. If my leg's anything to go, something. Some 75% of whips strikes to hit the horse's flank, side of the abutment. In contravention of the International Agreement on Breeding, Racing, and Water. Yeah, I think that there's 4 main sports that really hurt horses from using crops, but so there's racing, there's jumping, there's dressage, and there's cross country. I just don't know why they need this. I don't get how smacking a horse on the flank, sure, it'll increase their speed, but is that really all that anybody cares about nowadays? Winning a stupid competition? I don't get it. Okay, whip. Now we're on to whips. Never mind, these are also only crops. Like this guy, he is clearly about to hit that horse so hard. And I think that this guy here is trying to stop him from hurting the poor horse. This guy here is trying to stop that guy from taking the crop from that guy who's hurting the horse. Here, he's with the guy who's, wait, let me go back. Oh, no. I need to go back to, here, he's with the guy who stopped. Actually, I think that it's two guys. Wait, no. No, here it's the guy. He managed to stay there, and he's still trying to stay there. Here, it's the guy trying to stop. It's the horse running off because he got hit so hard. I just don't get it. Why? Why do you need to hit your horse in the flank? Why? How would you feel? One time, actually, I was sort of experimenting on myself how much it could hurt for me. I took a little clothes hanger that I had unraveled, and I sort of hit myself. And I hit myself twice, just not too hard, and it bruised me. These people are smacking their horses. And imagine if they had no fur. Imagine how much bruise there would be there. Now, I'm moving on to whips because I'm just getting overwhelmed with this. Whips. I'm only saying 4 horses because that's the only way it'll come out. I think I spelled wipes here, but whips I don't like at all either, except for when you're using a whip for an extension of your hand in something like, let's say, lunging, or you're doing some liberty or some tricks and you just need an extension of your arm. That's the only time I really like whips. Ban the whip. I want to look at this. Whip free. That's a good idea. This is going to hurt me more than it'll hurt you. Tanbird. This is going to hurt me more than it'll hurt you. Yeah, if people actually had feelings. One is called abuse, the other sport. Yeah, one is called, the people who don't call it abuse call it sport, which is something I don't think is cool. I might need to make 2 parts out of this, but I once been told by someone that wanted to justify his use of the whip, that a whip is like a gun, and they are harmless, and it all have to do with how to use them for human that. This horse probably escaped from his rider. Stop slaughtering us. This is about a lot of racehorses. Yeah, a lot of race areas in different sports. Once the horse is bad at it and they're too old, they're slaughtered. It's like, how can you do that? And this is just for the of horses. I'll never bet on a horse race. Yeah, I'll never bet on a horse race. I'll probably never go to a horse race. I might perform in one, but that would only be to ban the whips and at least help the horses. And if I did, I would be no crops, possibly no bit, and no spurs. Definitely not. No cup. The race that sucks isn't animal cruelty. You have not been paying attention. Sorry, I can't read that out loud, but so this video has ended. I only got through 3 things. The next thing we're gonna go over is crops. And oh no, I only have a few minutes. Crops. No. Okay, well, see you if this video ends, or Bye! See you guys next time!